So what to do? Restaurants in New York are allegedly being told that they can open on September 29th or September 28th with a 25% indoor capacity. I don't believe it's true. I think schools are opening. They're going to start saying that there's outbreaks all over the place, and they're going to say, no, we can't let restaurants open. But I hope I am wrong and restaurants can reopen. But Donald Trump actually weighed in on this whole restaurant situation here. And here's what he had to say about restaurants in New York.
Restaurants are all closed in New York. They don't want to open them. They want to make them do badly until November 4th. Don't worry, they're opening on November 4th.
They're opening on November 4th, no matter what. And that's obviously November 4th is the day after the election. And then once Donald Trump has clearly entrenched himself as the winner, which I think will happen, even if, they're talking about the mail-in votes and all this other stuff. And, they got states around the country saying they're going to count them, count these votes, even if, Jess, GFX 9, check out this from Charlie Kirk, okay? Some judges are saying that they're going to count the mail-in votes no matter what. Charlie Kirk, slick, young, up-and-coming superstar, if you ask me, tweets all the right stuff. He tweeted this. An Obama-appointed judge in Wisconsin just ruled that mail-in ballots will be counted even without a definitive postmark, opening the door for massive voter fraud. The case could be appealed all the way to the Supreme Court. To have a fair election, we have to fill the seat. And Charlie Kirk's right on the money. Now, you imagine you got this wacko judge here who's out there. He's appointed by Obama, and he's saying we're going to count the votes whenever they come in. The standard rule in most states is, postmarked by election day, received within 7 days. So within 7 days, you should have a handle on all the votes that were cast. Now, this judge has just done something where he opens the floodgates to a never-ending supply of votes that keep coming in. And how can you declare a winner if they keep sending in more and more votes? So we'll keep you posted on that. But it's pretty friggin' scary that a judge out there thinks that we should have no end date on when you can send in your votes. All right. Trump announces a ban on woke capital working with the U.S. government. And, this is from the National Pulse. And what I'm thinking here is this is probably a smart thing to do because you have all these companies and you got these hedge funds and you got George Soros, got 2 Sigma funds, and they got a whole bunch of other little funds that go under all these sneaky names. And Trump is saying something smart here, that he's going to ban woke capital. So if you want to be one of these woke folk who wants to take money and deploy it into Act Blue and they support all progressive candidates, no. The president unveils a ban on companies which promote critical theory and Marxist politics from working with the United States government. So if you're some left-wing organization, hedge fund, private equity group, where there are a ton of them, and you want to work with the U.S. government to fund programs and build products together for education and stuff, if you're into, these cultish refabrications of our American history, like the 16th, 19th Project, critical race theory, Marxist philosophies like the Black Lives Matter, you ain't working with the government no more. And that's a good thing. And truthfully, I don't know why President Trump has not gone after George Soros. Because he's deploying capital everywhere in our country, working against the foundational elements of our democracy. George Soros hates America. He hates what we were founded on. He hates the fact that we want to have borders. He hates the fact that we want to have a country. This man is after an open society. They want socialist principles. and I'll say it, and I'll keep saying it until the cows come home. Black Lives Matter is funded in large part from organizations that funnel money from George Soros to them to create these unrest and these riots and all this other stuff that's going on. And he's one of the biggest enemies of democracy there is. But he has bore the fruit of the American free market capitalist system, and now he wants to make sure no one else can compete with him. He wants to dictate his power on us. And many networks now, including Fox News of late, are afraid to call out George Soros. It's crazy, but they're afraid, you know? And then on the other hand, you won't see this pointed out anywhere else, but Donnie Deutsch, okay, who appears on Morning J.O. frequently, was on there this morning, looked like he was drinking red wine at 7 in the morning. His lips were black for some reason, so I don't know if he was half sauced. But he said on Morning Joe that Donald Trump, let's just say it, he said. All my Jewish friends out there who are thinking about voting for Donald Trump equates to Hitler. That's what he said. You know, there's all these veiled references, that Nazi, brown shirt. No. Donnie Deutsch came right out and said Trump is like Hitler. He's an authoritarian. He's Hitler. And you, my Jewish friends, you should know that he's Hitler, and you're going to vote in Hitler. And he said Hitler, Hitler, Hitler like 10 times, okay, referring to Donald Trump. So when you see that on YouTube, or you see that on somebody's Facebook page, I wonder why the Facebook police don't come scampering in and say, well, that's not true. This is we have flagged this for false information because Donald Trump is, in fact, not Hitler. So it's getting like, they're so over the edge now. It used to be called Trump derangement syndrome. Now it's called, now I think it's called Donnie Deutsch postal syndrome, because he looks like he's about to go postal. And a lot of these people, you know, like when you're in a wrestling match with your older cousin or your brother or your friend, and they got you down and they got like your arms behind your back and you're in like a little bit of a headlock, and you know you made one wrong move and now you're caught. And it's so frustrating when you know you're overpowered and you're trying to wrangle and wriggle and trying to grab his nuts if you can or do something to get out of it. But the left realizes now they can't get out of it. There's no way out. And there's nothing worse. It's like, you know, when you corner a rat, at some point the rat knows they're cornered. They just come at you and go for your jugular or something because they got nowhere to go. And they know they're about to get hit over the head with a sledgehammer. So they attack. You know, it's like when you have a squirrel cornered. You're like, ooh, he's so cute. They attack. Okay? Donnie Deutsch is probably a mix between a squirrel and a rat. But he's showing what happens to people when they were lauding Harry Reid when he was the leader of the Senate and he dropped the nuclear option. And now they know that the Constitution sets forth a duty of our president, Donald Trump, to fill any vacancies on the Supreme Court during his term. So that's laid in stone. Ruth Bader Ginsburg herself, back in 2016, when she was admonishing Mitch McConnell, she said that these legislators should remember that a president's term is 4 years, not 3 years and 9 months, and the president should appoint, should fill the seat. And now she's right on the money, as she was many times, one of the great Supreme Court justices of our time. You know, not great for the right, but she was still a great person and a great women's rights activist. They're trapped, they're cornered, they're getting beat at their own game. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, if you're a football coach and you got a passing team and you come into a game against a running team and you planned all out for a running game, and now the other team starts passing the ball all over you, and before you know it, you're losing. You got beat at your own game. And now Mitch McConnell said it best back, I think in 2016 or 15 or something. He said, you are going to regret this maneuver a lot sooner than you even realize. And right now, regret ain't going to help him, because on Saturday, Donald Trump's going to announce his nominee for the Supreme Court, and the Republicans are going to jam it right across the goal line. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back after this with Pavlina Osta talking about why all these young kids don't want to leave mommy and daddy's house.